Welcome live to Schellenberger Field on the campus of University of Lynchburg, where tonight we will be featuring the ODAC field hockey semifinal featuring the Hornets of Shenandoah and the Hornets of University of Lynchburg. I'm Joe Hutzler, your main narrator this evening. Happy to have you along for the ride as another edition of Shenandoah and Lynchburg on the field hockey field commences, and we've got some help coming in from Richmond, Virginia. Alyssa Rowe is with us. Hey, Alyssa, there you are on the big board, the big screen. How are things going for you?
They are just great, Joe. I am so excited to get to be on this side of the action today, getting to call this field hockey game with you.
Hey, let me ask you, obviously you're excited to be on this side of it, but go back to your days of being on the other side and being on the field itself. You, out of the two of us, know most what it's like to be in the ODAC tournament. What are the emotions like? What's the key to keeping the expectations at a high level but not going out too strong here to start?
Yeah, Joe, it's a super intense feeling. The atmosphere that I know, that's what I'm missing here in Richmond is the atmosphere of Lynchburg. It is just energetic, especially at tournament time. And all the teams are feeding off of one another. And what's really interesting about this year, is that every season's going on right now. So you have spring, a little bit of winter left, and fall, all winning these championships all at once. And it is just, it's contagious, honestly. And soccer, the girls are really looking after getting this title.
Yes, indeed. Let's talk about our coaches today, the two ladies that are leading the charge for both these teams. And for Shenandoah, she's not in there because, well, she doesn't want to get hurt naturally. But Miss Smeltzer-Kraft is ready to rock and roll with this team, a 2016 as head coach of the Hornets. On the other side for Lynchburg, it's Enza Steele, and she's looking for ODAC championship number 21, which is amazing considering the next closest team in the ODAC, next closest school has, I think, 13. And so by herself, she's got more than anybody else in the conference. Let's go ahead quickly and take a look at our as well. We start with the visitors of Shenandoah. 3 this year. Kelsey Jones leading the way with 10 assists. She had the only goal for Shenandoah in the season opener against Lynchburg way back when in late February, early March. Another that will be as one for Lynchburg, Jackie Laro. She has the same stat line actually, 10 goals, 25 points, 2 for 2 on penalty strokes this season. We know it's playoff time. Penalty strokes could be crucial, and we know which ones send out there. It's Laro and Jones. It's Lynchburg and Shenandoah. We are underway from Schellenberger Field. And off the bat, Lynchburg holds possession, 7-0 this season. Only ODAC opponents that were counted on their schedule. They actually have just come 1-goal win over CNU and an take place in high school. So trying to get too rested as this one bounces through to the shooting circle. And Shenandoah will bring it back on defense. Alyssa, the first go around, we hyped up this matchup as we should based on recent history between these two, but Lynchburg dominated with the exception of that one stroke given up for a goal. They really took care of business here at home against Shenandoah. Tonight, do you think anything can change based on what we've seen the rest of the season?
Yeah, Joe, I think anything can change in tournament time. It's any man's game, and I think that the girls are definitely feeling a little bit of that pressure, but they seem to be doing a good job of keeping calm and composed, and I think this is just the fight to win today.
Last time these two programs met in the tournament was in the 2019 season. Lynchburg was victorious that day, winning their 20th ODAC championship, back-to-back titles in 18 and 19. WNL winners in 2017. They are battling Roanoke tonight, so we will keep you up to date on what goes on there. Good opportunity and a little bit of crowd oohs coming across the microphone.
Girls are working hard to try to work their way into that circle, Joe, and at least try to force a corner, if not a goal.
Lynchburg, of course, has the pressure against them at 7 seed. They were ranked #1 in the conference related to preseason chatter. How difficult can that be, Alyssa, when you are expected to be the champs at the end of it all? I mean, a lot of people are already talking about, well, when we host the ODAC championship on Sunday, we'll do this and we'll do that. How tough is that as a player to deal with those expectations?
It's really hard, Joe, because you want to, stay optimistic and try to get to Sunday, but you also know you cannot get to Sunday unless you win Friday. I do feel like also a little bit with the Hornet v. Hornet action, it's a little bit of added pressure too to see who truly is the better Hornet today.
Well, for the first time here in the first quarter, we're seeing Shenandoah Hornets pushing forward on offense, and Lynchburg's defense, which is second to really none in this conference and maybe even in the nation, does a great job of making it a quick trip for the Shenandoah offense as Brittany Clayball sends it back to Emma Strauss. Alexis Brown, fantastic midfield player. Free hit finds Hayden Shockley. Kessa Romero, nice cut. Still taking it inside to the tie. And Shenandoah will have the defensive hit from there.
Shenandoah is really doing a great job, Joe, of keeping them right on that outside of the keeps trying to get inside and get the corner, but Shenandoah is really stopping them right on the outside of the circle corner.
Lynchburg with 98 corners this season, and there will be number 99 coming their way here. And especially early in the season, this Hornets team for Lynchburg was very efficient in corners converting to goals. In fact, through 4 games, they were creeping above 40%. Of course, over time, that number has dwindled down, but still well over a quarter of the time they score when they have penalty corners to take.
Yeah, I know Lynchburg really works for those corners, and they do a lot of practicing and making sure that they are perfected at every chance they get.
Emma Strauss inserts it to Alexis Brown. Now Brown pushes it to Dudley. She's got a firing shot that's hard to keep up with. This one bouncing around Morandi. And another corner for Lynchburg. They could tell they definitely wanted to get that to Emily Dudley because she has a really hard one-timer shot.
Yeah, Shenandoah's defense is smart enough to pick up on her and make sure that she's being marked extra tight in that circle to not allow that rocket of a ball in there.
You can see Morandi stepping on the ball.
Lynchburg corner being taken by number 7, Emma Strauss.
And back-to-back corners here. Just about 4.5 minutes gone by. The insert once again comes to Dudley, and that push push from Brown to Dudley. Didn't have enough on it. So Dudley missing on the chance, and Shenandoah survived to start the game. Jackie Laro plays it to herself, scoots inside. Here's a shot, Morandi with a block. And then cleared out briefly, but not too long. Emma Strauss dribbles back in. And defensive hit coming to Shenandoah. They're going to just take it on the free run here with Kelsey Jones. Clayball with the steal. Clayball sporting the Michael Jackson white glove. Interesting look. Just on the one hand. I don't know if Alyssa, I don't know if I've ever seen anybody wear gloves, at least for Lynchburg anyway. Do you remember anyone wearing gloves, unless it was cold?
No, Joe, not during my time in outdoor, although it was very much a different weather. I'm not sure what it's like out in Lynchburg today, but I know some girls do prefer to wear them in the colder months, or if they've had previous hand injuries, there's some padding in there just to help keep their fingers extra safe.
That makes sense. Not that it's too chilly today, but the added protection's never a bad thing. Added grip as well. I actually can see Jackie Laro has a glove on her left hand for that top side of the stick, so keeping it in a firm grasp. As Brown dribbles around 2 defenders. Nice work to push it ahead to Romero, whose pass goes out of play, intended for Maggie Chapese.
Lynchburg's doing a great job of trying to work their way down that sideline into the corner and then drilling it into the circle there. Hope that they can keep that up.
Amanda Henson starts things off for Shenandoah. Still looking for their first shot. Only one really good offensive possession so far for them. It's been really tough to get through this midfield. And once again, it's Alexis Brown helping out. Pass for Strauss. Got away. Farron Winter picks it up here.
Lynchburg's midfield is doing a great job of making sure nothing really gets below that 50, Joe. Stopping everything up before it.
Well, the whistle will help out this time to give Shenandoah a free hit. And you see Hannah Mink get it started, but once again, as you mentioned, Alyssa, that 50 is like a barrier against Shenandoah's rush. So it's Romero dumping it inside and swiftly sent back out. That was Elise Velasquez helping out Shenandoah. This feels very similar to their first matchup of the season. Lynchburg dominating possession, keeping it in their offensive third most of the time. .6:35 remaining in the first quarter. Lynchburg out shooting Shenandoah 3-0 in this semifinal matchup. The other going on in Lexington, Virginia. It's 2-seeded Generals of Washington and Lee hosting the Maroons of Roanoke College.
Yeah, Joe, Roanoke's actually one up on WNL right now. They got about 7:18 left in the first quarter.
That is certainly not what we expected to hear based on results this season, as Laro shoots one that's deflected off the pad of Morandi. What a stop. Now another on that shot by Chapese, and eventually Shenandoah holds serve and clears it to the near sideline. But 2 great stops from the senior goalkeeper out of Gloucester, Virginia. That is the type of effort that Shenandoah is going to need to try and slow down this rush by Lynchburg. Morandi has over 30 saves this season. She's got 3 so far in the first quarter. Not the cleanest hit, but still corralled by Lauren Tyre. Taylor Allen, you could hear that one goes off the foot of Lindsay Florio. Those never feel good, do they, Alyssa?
Joe, I can't say that they feel great, especially in a heated situation, like a tournament game. It's just it's a little bit of an extra sting.
Well, at least the adrenaline's pumping. It doesn't hurt too much now, but you might have a nice bruise tomorrow.
Very, very true, Joe. That was a beautiful transfer that Lynchburg's defense just had over to the other side. Now they're going to work their way up.
Ball gets away from Rebman. Quickly right back on it. All-conference defender Alex Rebman sticking with it and becoming a wall of her own. Holding up this Shenandoah rush, unlike the bun on top of her head that's quickly coming down. Now Shenandoah hoping to change the tide a little bit here. All the momentum swinging to Lynchburg. Jones sends it all the way inside, and it's eventually kicked aside.
Now into the game for Shenandoah. Number 21, Abby Barefoot.
We assume that is Laurel Nix. She's just wearing a different number, by the way. Don't adjust your TV screens. She normally wears 42. Perhaps something happened in the wash with 42.
Anything could happen, Joe.
And so Shenandoah wanting to capitalize on their first really good possession. It's just so tough to work around Lynchburg's defense. They seem to know exactly where you're going to go.
Yeah, Joe, they do. And at first, in the first, few minutes of this quarter, Shenandoah was really just trying to get that big ball down into Lynchburg's defensive 25. And now it seems like they're starting to slow down a little bit and try to keep more of a possession game, which is what Lynchburg's been playing this whole time.
Under 3 minutes to play in the first quarter. Still looking for our first goal. Not for the lack of trying, though. Of these teams who have tested the keepers a little bit, more so coming from Lynchburg.
Good change of direction there.
Taylor Green got it out. Striding forward is Brooke Highland. The freshman, couple goals this season.
Must be that number 20 or something. I don't know.
Yeah, something about that number is, it just continues to excel.
Yeah.
No matter who's in it. Alexis Brown working against Velasquez one-on-one.
One of the hardest and most frustrating things, Joe, is when you're one of the spotted players and the other team just wants to double team you the whole time. You feel like you have no way out of anything, and mentally that's really hard on players.
And the interesting thing for Lynchburg, we'll get back to that point in a moment, as Shenandoah breaks away. Opportunity here. Green up, go down, and it's going to go back to Lynchburg. Cassidy Morrison feeling like, come on, I ran all that way. Actually, it's going to stay with Shenandoah, but still, ran all that way, and Taylor Green, she's got me in the end. And in the end, Shenandoah turns it over. Back to that point about being a marked player, if you will. I think the danger for any team is when you go up against Lynchburg, you got to talk about more than one person, and that's where Lynchburg excels.
Between that, Joe, and their speed, it's hard to just really pick one person for the other team to kind of stay on. You got, Alex and Jackie, and, there's so many others, Emily Dudley. It's so hard for teams to kind of correlate one of kind of really man mark.
Another rush building here for Lynchburg. Highland dribbling inside, looking for some help, just tries to dump it in the scoring area. Rebound comes back to Romero. She's denied a chance to get back to the ball, and that'll be a free hit for Lynchburg.
Breakaways are really hard to time out, especially when you're so focused on running as fast as you can, and then you have a defender running at you.
Dudley looks to turn the stick a little and send it in, but instead she got all turf and came up in a dangerous position. So Shenandoah takes over, and the clock hits 0 to end the first quarter of play. All Lynchburg in terms of chances. They are leading the shots, totals 5-0, but we are still scoreless after 1 on LHSN.
Today's ODAC Championship broadcast is brought to you by Virginia Farm Bureau Insurance. Keep Virginia, Virginia. Talk to your local insurance agent today. Shentel, the official telecommunications provider of the ODAC. And Field Turf, the official field of the ODAC.
Celebrate the soggy shoes and the slow starts. celebrate the lessons learned along the way. These are the wins. Not the shiny, nail-biting kind. These are the last a lifetime kind.
Welcome back to Schellenberger Field on the campus of University of Lynchburg. Joe Hutzler and Alyssa Rowe with you all this evening on a beautiful Friday in Central Virginia. Right now it is still scoreless after the first quarter between the Hornets and the Hornets. Lynchburg out shooting Shenandoah 5-0. 4 of those shots have been on target. Isabella Morandi has stopped all 4 to this point. And Lynchburg has had 2 penalty corners that have come out with nothing to answer for. Those are the numbers. It hasn't really been, you look at that part of it, Alyssa, there's nothing that really stands out as a huge moment in the first quarter. It kind of feels like the teams are still working to figure out what to do, maybe? I'm not sure.
Yeah, it's almost like they're trying to get their feet wet a little bit and kind of feel each other out on both ends of the teams here, Joe, as they get started. But hopefully they'll be able to pick up a little bit of spark in this second quarter.
Lynchburg certainly had the ball the most. But Shenandoah's defense, specifically number 0 in net, was ready for any challenge. And once again, it's Lynchburg starting things off from that center circle. Brown finds Strauss. Strauss pushing it to the middle. It sinks its way through. Chapezi there, backhanding one. Still loose. And eventually cleared out by Kylie Tubner. Tubner was a force in the first matchup on defense. She always seemed to be around the ball. As Jackie Laro sprints inside. Laro trying to get to the front and eventually goes across the end line. And Shenandoah will take over from there.
So you're trying to pull it back into her strong side of her stick there, Joe, but it's really hard, especially as speedy as Jackie is, trying to pull it from your backhand out forward.
Hayden Shockley whiffed a little bit on that lift attempt. Now they'll switch sides. Long hit from Strauss. And a whistle that keeps it with Shenandoah. We've referenced that first game a few times today as Shenandoah looks to capitalize on a good chance. Lauren Tyre scoots inside, throws it back to the middle, but Lynchburg was there first and negates a good opportunity. First game of the season for Lynchburg, March 5th. It was a 3-1 win over this Shenandoah team. It's a nice way for them to start the 2021 campaign. Brittany Clayball, Emily Dudley, and Taylor Green had the goals for Lynchburg. And we talked about Kelsey Jones finishing on the penalty stroke, which at the time made it 1-1.
Yeah, Joe, it seems the two teams are only at a 3-game differential there. I think Shenandoah has 3 more games of experience over the Hornets of Lynchburg, but doesn't really seem to be showing it too much right yet.
Well, here is a really good chance. The first time Shenandoah will be taking a penalty corner tonight. It is the 123rd time this season that they have been in this position. They had 4 in the first matchup way back in March 5th.
Shenandoah corner.
Seems like ages ago.
Elizabeth Randberger.
Elizabeth Ramberger will insert for Shenandoah. Out top to Winter. Shot comes. Nix lays out for the stop. First save of the day for her. And it's going to be a hit from the 16 by Shenandoah in the end. Oh, we got that Wrong again. Lynchburg will take it. Now the official explaining to Shenandoah, who was kind of hanging out near the offensive area.
Great save by Laurel and a great fly out by Alex Redmond. This just really throws off the shooter.
Real test for Laurel Nix. Finished the season just .65 goals against average. Only gave up 4 goals this season. 15 saves with 1 shutout to her credit. Quick whistle, quick restart. To the trailing Romero. Romero sliding, and that one going off the stick of Amanda Henson. So Lynchburg will bring it back.
Lynchburg's flat ball is Shenandoah. The ball does travel faster than we can run, Joe. So their ability to quickly slide it on over is really what's helping them to quick the Shenandoah Hornets.
The deflection ends with Lynchburg taking possession. Romero once again cutting back inside, keeps it herself, looking to push it to Clayball. And a good stick from Lindsay Florio. And Shenandoah will take over here. Once again, this defense for the visitors tested heftily, but not able, are Lynchburg, to get past.
Both teams are really working the big ball side of the game here, Joe, trying to get those big hits just down to the other end to try to buy their teammates some time.
Shockley pushing it.
Great ball down the line.
Yes, great connection to Romero on the spot where it needed to be. Romero dribbles around one, trying to push that to Chapezi.
Looks like it's going to be her ball again.
Well, it was, and then
maybe
the official,
not.
Yeah, she changed her mind. The official changed her mind. Originally had it pointing in favor of Lynchburg. Over 5.5 minutes gone by here in the second quarter. Lynchburg looking for their first shot of the quarter. Shenandoah has their first, and it was stopped by Laurel Nix for her first save. Off the foot of Jones. And they want to bring this ball over to where Strauss is, which is where the infraction occurred, so it makes sense. And they'll play it all the way back to Taylor Green, standing by her lonesome. Good closeout from Ranberger to make it tough on Shockley, but in the end it's still Kessa. Romero, what a move! Chops one high and well over top. But how about the way of getting in there from Romero? Nice stick work.
Yes, her ability to kind of weave in and out of those defenders and get that chip shot off super quick, Joe, is pretty phenomenal. It's really hard to do under a lot of pressure. I'm sure she's been practicing that for a while. It looks like the ball was almost in between her feet, so she had to pull it out from between there, too, to set herself up properly.
And here she goes one more time. This time she just winds up looking for a deflection. It gets back to Chapezi. She centers one. Lero is there, whiffed on the chance. Open, score! Brittany Clayball on the floor, on the board. It's 1-0 Lynchburg.
That's that scrappiness of Lynchburg field hockey, Joe. They always seem to find that ball in the back of the cage every time.
Lynchburg. Goal scored by number 1, Jackie Lero.
Checking it out again. Lero with the whiff here, and then Clayball making a connection on the backhand. And the celebration for Brittany Clayball, which is her third goal of the season. She scored the first goal in the first game of the season against this same Shenandoah program. And finally, all of the pressure that Lynchburg's offense has been putting on Shenandoah's defense pays off. And they're leading by 1.
It's one thing Coach Steele and Coach Jenny Smith always instill in the Lynchburg players, Joe, is never quit until you hear the whistle blow. You keep playing, and if they want you to stop, they'll blow it again. Looks like it's finally paid off.
A little bit of pressure from Shenandoah afterward. Much like the sport that we broadcasted last weekend, the sport of soccer, one of the adages is you're always your most vulnerable after you score. And Shenandoah tried their best to take advantage of that moment. But in the end, again, Lynchburg's defense up to the task, making every opponent have to make the perfect pass, the perfect shot to get one past them.
I feel like Lynchburg almost is using this as a little bit of a confidence builder here, Joe. It's like, all right, we've got one on the board. Now we can play our game.
That is not good news if you are Shenandoah. If that is the path that Lynchburg's about to go on with 6:40 to go here in the second quarter. Kelsey Jones dribbles around Green. Looking to center one. Finds its way through, and it's missing left. The whistle came before that ball deflected near the cage anyway. And it's going to be a corner for Shenandoah, their second of the game.
That give and go was really buying Jones some time there to be able to feed the ball back into the circle. Little pull. And she's in.
That close. Lindsay Florio could sense it. But perhaps the sun that's setting over Westover Hall got in her eyes. And in the end, it's a penalty corner. Ramberger will start it, this time from the other side of the field. Inserts to Jones, lifts one high. Nix not able to keep it out. What a goal from Kelsey Jones from way downtown. Never thought I would say that in a field hockey game.
Beautiful back upper corner shot there, Joe. Right on target, right where she wanted it.
Assisted by number 6, Elizabeth Ramberger.
This is going to be fun to watch again. Much like Alyssa Rowe's husband from 3. It only counts as 1, but still an amazing, amazing shot. It was on target, and it's almost impossible to stop if you're a goalie. You got to be almost in your net to even get a piece of it.
Yeah, there's some shots, Joe, in field hockey, much like, lacrosse and any sport, really, where there's just some shots that are so beautiful that there's not a whole lot you can do. And that was definitely one of them.
So just like March 5th, Clayball scores first. Kelsey Jones scores next to make it 1-1. This time in another highlight reel fashion. The first time was a penalty stroke. This time even better than that. And we're tied up at 1 with 5:35 to go.
Great block tackle by Shockley, being able to feed it to Maggie Chapese.
Nice ball from Chapese too, but it was too tough to handle for Lero. And the whistle blows. I think they might bring this back.
Might be just below the 25, which means they're going to have to take it at least 5 yards before it'll go inside the circle.
They'll restart with Aaron Boatwright along the end line. Boatwright gets around 1, now 2, stays tight on that blue line. Centers 1, it's in! Lero around it. I think Clayball, though, was the beneficiary. We'll have to wait for the replay to be sure, but how about the assist that's going to go to Aaron Boatwright here?
Beautiful stick work there by Aaron Boatwright, the way that she's able to possess and keep control of the ball and her stick, all while maintaining her speed, are what really allowed her to get that initial touch off.
Brittany Clayball with another. You can see it there, confirmed on the replay. Good work by the crew. Her second of the day. That's the most she scored in a single game. It's her 4th of the season, and just like that, Lynchburg answering less than 2.5 minutes after Kelsey Jones scores to take the lead again.
Clayball is going to definitely be a force to be reckoned with next year, Joe, in her senior season.
Clayball, Dudley, and Brown missing some time this year due to COVID protocols. Lynchburg was able to win without them and more of a threat with them, no question.
Not only talking about their starters, Joe, they're so hard to pick someone to mark, but they got a super deep bench, too, that they're able to choose from and still continuously pull out these victories.
Well, think about what we just saw from Aaron Boatwright. She didn't get the goal, but she's got goals this season, and she had an excellent dribble along the end line. That shot even close, and that's a freshman.
Exactly. Yeah. Phew.
Good times for many years to come for this program, as it has been for a long, long time.
Great double team there.
And it finishes with Jackie Laro dribbling up the near sideline, cuts to the middle, around another defender. Speed of Laro is amazing, and it's going to continue in the fall, folks. She has decided to come back and play in the fall of 2021. So that is good news for the Lynchburg fans and for Coach Steele.
Jackie's ability to just like curve in that right shoulder there and just be able to manipulate defenders however she wants is just incredible, which is probably why she's gotten all the accolades and goals that she has this year.
Tied with two other folks in the conference for the most goals, certainly just 7 games. Not a huge sample size compared to years past, but 10 goals this season for her. Kelsey Jones now with 11, as that one finds its way to Laro on the hop. Laro working against Morandi, taken down, penalty corner for the Hornets of Lynchburg.
It was a great foul by Jackie there, being able to force the goalie there.
Third penalty corner of the half for Lynchburg. 2:26 to go. Clock has stopped on a 2-1 game. Lynchburg out shooting Shenandoah 9-2 so far, 7-2 in shots on goal. That lady in the middle of your screen, Isabella Morandi, has been busy, but she has stopped more than she's let by. 5 saves. And an insert. It's going to be Laro instead of Strauss. A direct pass connecting with Brown, pushing it through Dudley. Laro thought about it, hesitated. Go back to Shenandoah.
So 1-0 with Roanoke up over W&L, Joe, in the second quarter of that game.
That would be something else. Based on the recent results for Washington and Lee, I'm thinking about women's soccer losing in PKs against Bridgewater last Sunday. Men's soccer falling as the #1 seed on the first night, the quarterfinal round of the men's soccer tournament. And to be the second seed at home on that fast turf, if that result holds there, it'll be another shocker against the Generals. Romero backhands one. Morandi comes way out to punch it aside. And they're going to bring it back out to the 16. Once again, the offense starting with number 22 in black. Yet another number that seems to always hold a player to a high standard that they continue to meet. And with 1:05 remaining, Lynchburg trying to add another before the break. Laro inside the blue line. Morandi with the stop. And then across the end line, penalty corner again for Lynchburg. This is number 4. Check it out one more time. Laro with the shot.
Taken by #1, Jackie Laro.
Another great save from number 0. Laro again will start the insert to Brown. Didn't get all that one. We've seen that a few times tonight. These corners for Lynchburg, they haven't been working too well.
Yeah, they're going to have to clean those up, Joe, in order to execute properly. They need to just settle down a little bit, take a deep breath, remembering that corner time is their time, and no need to rush it.
Hard grounder from Redmond, stopped by Jones. 20 seconds to go. Now under 10. Florio. Whistle keeps it with Shenandoah. 3 seconds left. And that's going to do it for the first half of play. Lynchburg gets 2 from Brittany Clayball. The Shenandoah Hornets get a long shot from Kelsey Jones that lands, and that brings us to a score of 2-1. We will step aside and be right back with stats and highlights on LHSN.
I am a first-generation college student. I applied to 16 universities, and I actually had decided on going to a different university, but doing FAFSA and everything on my own, and the need for a good credit with the Parent Plus loan and everything like that. My plans kind of fell through. I just couldn't give up hope. And so I'm wrestling through this like shoebox I have full of like acceptance letters and financial aid letters. And I got my financial aid reward letter, and I also received scholarships from the school, and it was, the most affordable for me. They were excited to work with me. Financial aid really helped me out a lot with getting that situated. And I've just considered it a blessing ever since to go from 1 week not knowing whether or not I had to stay home for a year, and then the next week, knowing that this is where I'm going. It was meant to be, and obviously I consider this place my home, and I wouldn't change it for the world. Never think that your donation is in vain, because you're helping out hundreds of students that are just like me, who need a shot and who are getting one. Without donations, without you individuals that are helping to donate to the university and the Lynchburg Fund, there would be no student body president, Davion Washington. There'd probably be I'm stuck at home, Davion Washington. And so there's a lot to be thankful for, and it's definitely the people that donate. And like I said, not only is your donation building leaders, but it's building leaders like myself and others that will hopefully want to pay it forward one day and do the same thing. I know for a fact that, when I have it, because I will, I want to give back to this university that provided me a home for 4 years.
When you come to the University of Lynchburg to earn a master's degree in athletic training, you'll spend time in the classroom, but you'll also spend a lot of time in our top-notch facilities, learning from athletic trainers and working closely with our student athletes. In the Graduate Cadaver Lab, you'll learn about the human body in the best way possible, by actually studying the human body. This will provide a foundation to make you a much better athletic trainer. In the athletic training laboratory, you'll get hands-on experience, practicing your skills, applying concepts from the classroom, and working with faculty on research projects. It's also where our hydrotherapy facilities are. This space is also used by students for studying and practicing skills outside of class time. In the Sports Medicine Clinic and Turner Gymnasium, you'll work with student athletes from more than 20 NCAA Division III sports teams, helping get them back to practice and into the game as soon as possible. As an athletic training student, you're a big part of the success of our sports teams and the success of the local athletic teams. We see this relationship as a win-win situation. You learn, and that helps us win.
If you want to know your customers, shop where they shop. Live where they live. And spend time with them as neighbors. With over 100 local offices, Virginia Farm Bureau agents are part of your community. If you want insurance from a company that knows you, Get to know us.
It is turning out to be a beautiful evening in Lynchburg, Virginia. It is 2-1 in favor of the home team here in the ODAC Field Hockey Semifinals on LHSN.
I was looking for a school that could provide me with the athletics, academics to pursue my career, a wind symphony to pursue my passion for music, and really have a nice general atmosphere. The professors here are really unique, their background and their passion for teaching. It's really a place where you can explore. Lynchburg gives you the opportunity to fail, but also get back up in that period of time and learn from your mistakes. I can make these mistakes within the school environment, but also with the support of other friends, and be ready for the real world when you graduate.
Cheer for the stumbles. The he shoulda had that's. And the tears that linger. For in those moments, greatness lies. There you will find the provoked, the determined, the unified. It's in those moments that champions are born. Celebrate the soggy shoes and the slow starts. Celebrate the lessons learned along the way. These are the wins. Not the shiny nail-biting kind. These are the last a lifetime kind.
If you want to know your customers, shop where they shop. Live where they live. And spend time with them as neighbors. With over 100 local offices, Virginia Farm Bureau agents are part of your community. If you want insurance from a company that knows you, get to know us.
Cheer for the stumbles. The he shoulda had that's. And the tears that linger. For in those moments, greatness lies. There you will find the provoked, the determined, the unified. It's in those moments that champions are born.
Welcome back to Schellenberger Field. Halftime, Lynchburg leads Shenandoah 2-1, and we've got some highlights to show you. Hopefully. Yes, they are here. Saves and goals, all kinds of good stuff. Alyssa, biggest takeaway for you from the first half of play?
The possession by both teams, Joe, has just really been allowed them, both teams, to get those shots off and get those corners that they've been itching to get, which have allowed to these goals.
Kelsey Jones with the biggest highlight goal, but Brittany Clayball with two for herself, including this one, which gave Lynchburg the lead in the second quarter. Aaron Boatwright, nice play, swings it inside, and Clayball scoring Lynchburg leading it 2-1, out shooting Shenandoah 11-2 here at the half as well. Isabella Morandi doing all she can. 5 stops in the first half of play. Can't really ask much more for her as we are underway in the third quarter. Of course, they switch ends of the field. Shenandoah hoping that this time things go a little bit better for them, moving left to right, as you see it on your screen. And have a correction on the Morandi numbers, by the way. 7 saves in the first half. She saw 9 shots come her way. Dumped inside and kicked back out. And they're going to bring it back out to that blue line for Shenandoah to restart. Got to be a pretty key, important factor, Alyssa, for Shenandoah for a quick start here.
Yes, Shenandoah seems to have come out with a new kind of energy here, Joe. They've been connecting more passes and keeping better possession of the ball here and, really working on their tactical skills.
You hear a little bit of the chatter coming from the sidelines. That's Coach Karen Mann and Coach Enza Steele. Thick as thieves, those two. Actually was getting my bi-weekly haircut the other day and saw Coach Mann in the parking lot. She's like, I had to go pick up a cream puff from Montana Plains Bakery for Coach Steele because she's feeding me tonight.
Oh, goodness.
So,
those two.
Nice give and take between those two ladies. Coach Mann helping to shore up and take over duties as goalkeeping coach. She certainly has a lot of positives to show for it with the play of Laurel Nix, who again is wearing 77 tonight. There isn't all of a sudden a new player for the Hornets of Lynchburg, just something different with the uniform. Kelsey Jones inside to the middle, deflection, and I don't know if Nix got it or Shockley had it the whole way, but either way, Shenandoah has done a good job of eventually getting possession and then bringing it down and making something happen out of it.
Those aerials are such a tricky call for refs to make, Joe. It's pretty discretionary there based on spacing as to whose ball it can be.
Yeah, I know, unfortunately, you can't hear the crowd noise, the mic that's down there, but if you could hear it, Coach Steele and Coach Mann would be agreeing with you because they were not in favor of how that aerial turned out for them.
As one who used to take those aerial balls, I think I can picture it, Joe.
Probably hear it as well. Probably ingrained in your brain.
Yeah. That's for sure. Something I get to share with the girls I coach now.
Absolutely, yes. You got some big stuff happening this weekend as well that we can talk about shortly. But meanwhile, Shenandoah once again pressuring. Lynchburg defense doing what they can. No whistle for a ball touching the feet. Shenandoah expecting it, including their coaching staff. But instead it's a stalemate along the end line before Alexis Brown pops it from behind into the sideline area.
Shenandoah is so quick to get in that circle in this quarter, Joe. They're really being a lot more scrappy in there, trying to force those fouls instead of waiting for the perfect shot like they were in the first quarter.
Things will get started with Hannah Mink, the junior out of Elizabethtown, Pennsylvania. Coach Smeltzercraft looking on, trying to defeat Lynchburg for the second time in program history. The first time was a pretty big deal. We don't have to relive it too much if you don't want to, Alyssa.
Yeah, let's not, Joe. I think what's so cool about D3 hockey, though, is, we get to play against our old teammates and, looking down at these rosters, there's lots of girls from same areas who've been playing against each other for years. And it's so cool to get to see you come together and play at this collegiate level together once again, except maybe against each other this time.
Yeah, definitely a niche sport. Everybody comes from a similar area. And tonight, fear as the corner Jones. Hander through off the post. And eventually, it's going to bring it back out to Shenandoah for a stroke. Penalty
That
stroke.
was a defensive save for Shockley, and she's got a few of those notched for this season.
Kelsey Jones, the best penalty stroker in the league, 4 for 4 this season. Looking to tie it up at 2. And she will. Kelsey Jones, second time they've took on the Lynchburg Hornets. Second time she's taken a penalty stroke, and the second time she's made it. We're tied at 2 apiece.
The speed of Kelsey's ball there was what really helped sink that goal, and she was able to take the stroke super fast and just sink it right below Laurel's arm there.
Oh, there you see that offhand of Shockley getting involved to keep that ball out after it went off the post. And Jones takes advantage of the one-on-one opportunity. Once again, a big tip of the cap to the crew. Getting those replays for us as Lynchburg tries to respond with a large offensive attack. This is Romero. Only could go so far, but the whistle will allow Lynchburg to keep it.
Yeah, Joe, the way she was able to kind of finesse her body around those defenders are what allowed her to get that call there.
Shockley just trying to hit one hard, looking for a bounce their way, and there will be one for Lynchburg. Laro goes down, and Lynchburg will have their 5th penalty corner of the night. They have yet to score off of their previous 4 corners.
Lynchburg corner being taken by number 7, Emma Strauss.
Insert finds its way in, and Lexus Brown doing what she can, but in the end, empty possession for the Hornets of Lynchburg.
Wasn't quite able to get her feet all the way around there, Joe, and had to hit it a little bit reverse. Great job there by Jackie. Oh, that's an unfortunate call.
Green card. Yep, card is given. And it's going to go against Shenandoah's Kylie Tubner, the freshman from Fredericksburg, Virginia, will take a seat. With 9 minutes left, Lynchburg pressuring. And defensive hit for Shenandoah. Tubner very nonchalant, sitting there like, okay, that's the call, whatever, we'll keep going.
This is where Lynchburg really has to play some smart hockey here, knowing that they're going to be a man up for at least the next 2 minutes.
Right now, it's Florio battling 2 Lynchburg Hornets. It's Kessa Romero taking on 1, and now sees Jones to her left. Winter ahead. And a quick whistle that gives Lynchburg another chance on the corner.
Perfect opportunity and time to get this corner now, Joe, with them being a man down here, and Lynchburg even able to take an extra second to set up and execute here.
It will be Emma Strauss again.
Lynchburg corner being taken by number 7, Emma Strauss.
Starts things off for Lynchburg. Insert comes to Brown. Romero back to Brown. Low shot deflected by Clayball over top Morandi. But the whistle before the celebration by Laro.
Strauss's insert was absolutely gorgeous. It just looked like that last little deflection might have been a little bit dangerous there. This is why they have it coming out.
Yeah, we'll go back to it when we have a chance. With just to confirm, meanwhile, Kessa Romero doing all that she can, getting inside that blue line and forcing yet another penalty corner for Lynchburg.
They're really trying to sink one in here on a corner, Joe, which is, I know really important to them to be able to really tires out the defense of Shenandoah too, having to run back and forth a bunch.
This is the previous corner, by the way. Yeah, that follow through from Clayball. Up into the face mask of Morandi.
See if we can get another.
Plenty of chances. This is the 7th penalty corner of the night. This time it's Laro receiving from Strauss. Cuts back to the middle. Gives to Brown. One-timer through! No, it bounced out through the legs of Morandi. I don't know if it was a defensive save or it went off the post. Either way, no goal for Lynchburg. At least from our angle, it looked like it did not get stopped by Morandi. Meanwhile, Romero pushes one in. It's punted back out by Morandi again. And I'm hearing chatter from our replay coordinator that she did stop it. Morandi did stop that last chance.
Her athleticism this game, Joe, has just been incredible.
That would be, for her, that would be 9 saves in the game. Lynchburg not letting up on the pressure, though. Laro, one of the one-timer, bounced over her stick. So it's Strauss along the end line, and it's swept away by Henson. Not out of harm's way yet as Morandi stops it. It rolls to the top side and wide. A flurry of action here with 6.5 to go in the third. Isabella Morandi, absolutely stellar play.
She is really keeping them in the game here. Her ability to stay strong and calm in those tense situations, Joe, has just been incredible. Mm-hmm.
Well, those that can hear the microphone know exactly how Coach Steele feels about what just took place, saying you can't stop the game and then restart without a whistle. Quote unquote, that's ridiculous. So there you go. You have it straight from the horse's mouth as things ratchet up here in a winner-go-home situation. Trying to get to a winner-take-all situation on Sunday in the ODAC championship game. Lynchburg, the 2-time defending ODAC champs in 2018 and 2019. Shenandoah winning in the fall of 2016. The 2017 champs of Washington and Lee, they were down by 1. Alyssa, what's going on in Lexington now?
Yeah, Joe, they had just started the third quarter, but it is still 1-0 Roanoke. Nothing in the second quarter, and they just started the third.
So Roanoke's defense holding strong, leading 1-0 over the Generals across the mountain in Lexington, Virginia. The winner there plays the winner of this one. The location is to be determined. This is not your traditional number 1 seed hosts the semis and the final. The highest seed remaining after tonight will be the host. It could be Lynchburg. It could be Washington and Lee. Right now, it could be Roanoke. Who knows?
WNL is such a hard place to play, Joe. They're the only team in the ODAC that has AstroTurf, which is a significantly lower amount of turf, much more tightly compacted turf.
Yeah, it certainly
much faster game.
Makes it tough on those long hits too, because the way you have to gauge your power changes so much from grassy turf to AstroTurf.
Do lots of running before those games to get in great shape.
Yeah, no question about that. As Romero backhands one, it is quickly cleaned out. Lynchburg didn't have to worry about it this year. In the past couple years, they've played 2 or 3 games at Liberty University to get prepared for games at Washington and Lee on the AstroTurf. But this season, the Generals came here and fell to Lynchburg.
It's such a unique experience getting to practice and play at the Liberty facilities, Joe. It's something we've been doing for a long time, and I'm glad the girls got that opportunity in the past.
They certainly look forward to getting back to that in the fall when we hope to have a more traditional fall schedule.
It's going to be really interesting, Joe, seeing how these girls rally from playing in the spring to going straight into summer conditioning and then right into the fall again. I'm sure that they can do it, but it's going to be really hard.
Yeah, this is not your traditional spring season from the past, that's for sure. As Taylor Green tussles with Shenandoah. Yeah, I beg your pardon, that was Lauren Tyre. I couldn't quite see the number. It's a good push by Tyre, so now Shenandoah has a chance to put the ball on frame, perhaps, or at least in a dangerous position. They're being outshot 16-5, yet they're tied up with Lynchburg at 2 apiece. All 5 of Shenandoah's shots have been on target, so the efficiency is there. The accuracy certainly showing itself to be true, but Lynchburg has had more chances. And certainly if they continue to outshoot Shenandoah this way, you'd expect them to score again.
Jones taking another free hit. Seems that she is their main person for free hits there.
Kelsey Jones always looking like she's going to have back problems later in life. She's so tall.
That's just field hockey, Joe.
I know. Some of us were talking about it yesterday. I mean, she's not really that tall in terms of the word tall. She's 5'10", so she's, taller than the average for a female. As this one slides through, a chance for Shenandoah to take the lead. Cannot. But I'm 5'10", and I don't feel like I would have to bend down that much, but clearly that is not the case. It's a game that benefits the likes of Jackie Laro and Haley Colt, hovering around that 5-foot range. 65 seconds to go. And a penalty corner for Shenandoah. This will be their second of the half, their 4th of the game. And a chance to take the lead for the first time in the ODAC semifinal. Looking at it again. I believe that went off the foot of Taylor Green. Elizabeth Ranberger will insert with 60 seconds to play in the third quarter. Kelsey Jones passes, long shot that's through, across the line. Shenandoah takes the lead. The closest one to it was that lady in the middle of your screen, Hannah Mink. It would be Mink's 4th goal of the season as long as it didn't go off of a Lynchburg player. What a shot right here. Once again, Shenandoah pressuring Lynchburg in a position they're not used to, trailing in a contest. They have not trailed here at home. The closest game they had was against the previously mentioned Generals when it was 2-2 in the second half. Lynchburg would go on to win in extras. And with 20 seconds to go, Shenandoah once again has a chance to score on a penalty corner.
Seem to be having a hard time, Joe, getting that ball off of our reverse stick onto our strong side, which is forcing a lot of those fouls, and they happen to be just inside the circle there, which is forcing the corner.
We'll see with what they decide to go with here. Farron Winter was the Shenandoah player that hit that ball hard into the crease area the last time, but the formation is different this time around. Ranberger still starts it, but she connects with Tubner. And there was a whistle. We'll try it again.
It's like Alex Redmond might have left a little bit too quickly before the ball was inserted, so now they're going to have to play down with 3 defenders inside the cage.
Now, they did not put more time on the clock. It was at 20 seconds. Now it rolls down underneath the 10. Shenandoah must keep it inside the shooting circle if time runs out. And that one bounces through again. This time a clean one over the stick of Laurel Nix. And Shenandoah scores 2 goals in the last 2 minutes of the third to take a 2-goal lead. Look at it one more time. Kelsey Jones with the shot. Was it deflected? Yes, it was. You see the reaction from Cassidy Morrison. Shenandoah on the road trying to avenge a 3-1 defeat to start the season. They're up 4-2 headed to the fourth quarter on LHSN.
I was looking for a school that could provide me with the athletics, academics to pursue my career, a wind symphony to pursue my passion for music, and really have a nice general atmosphere. The professors here are really unique, their background and their passion for teaching. It's really a place where you can explore. Lynchburg gives you the opportunity to fail, but also get back up in that period of time and learn from your mistakes. I can make these mistakes within the school environment, but also with the support of other friends, and be ready for the real world when you graduate.
Student section in full effect tonight for this ODAC semifinal featuring Lynchburg and Shenandoah. Happy to have you along for a beautiful Friday evening, a busy weekend here on LHSN. We'll be on the air all day tomorrow for Lynchburg's track meet, and then we'll be back on the air for baseball and softball on Sunday, as well as maybe field hockey, depending on how they respond in these next 15 minutes of play. Shenandoah on top, 4-2, scoring 2 goals in those last 2 minutes. Alyssa, Lynchburg, just their makeup, their whole complexion of their play in the third quarter did not look like the team we saw in the first 30 minutes.
No, especially within that first quarter, Joe, they came out on fire and ready to attack in the first 15 minutes of this game, and it seems like they started sloping down a little bit. I'm sure that they're going to come out with a great intensity and fire here, though.
Chances, shots, all the factors that you'd like to be in your favor are in favor of the home team, outshooting Shenandoah 16-7 with a 12-7 shots on goal advantage. But Isabella Morandi, 9 saves. She has done everything she can to help out the discrepancies on defense in front of her. And those 9 saves playing a crucial role at this juncture with Shenandoah on top 4-2.
Yeah, she's really had a phenomenal game, being able to keep her Hornets in it still, and really kind of giving them an extra boost of confidence. You know, having your goalie back you up is just, it's an incredible feeling. It's hard to replicate.
For Shenandoah, they've got 2 goals from Kelsey Jones, 1 from Hannah Mank, and 1 from Cassidy Morrison. Lynchburg has both goals from Brittany Clayball.
So where those seniors really have to dig deep and remember what's on the line here, Joe, and just play with their whole hearts and not give up.
Once again, a great shot. This time Nick stops it. Alex Redman tripped up. And Lynchburg will take it there. Shenandoah with this advantage, you know they're going to be aggressive. They've got some insurance to work with. And once again, to start the fourth quarter, we see a lot of action on the right side of the field. Winter dribbles into the feet of Clayball. Back to Jones, hard hit, stolen by Strauss. And Lynchburg will take it here. Long push ahead.
There.
Yeah, long push ahead to Lero, then she loses it. You talked earlier, Alyssa, in the broadcast about how both teams at one point were trying to go for long balls. They were trying to connect on long passes. Lynchburg certainly will feel like they need to do that, but perhaps that's not the right move. There's still plenty of time to take your time up the field.
Yeah, Joe, they're going to have to find this happy medium between the big balls and then the tip-tapping, constantly touching the ball. We're playing with it just a little bit too much, and we have to find that balance between the big balls and when it's appropriate to dribble with it a little bit closer.
There's a big ball that bounces all the way back. Clay ball with the steal, and this will stay with Lynchburg. How about the effort from Brittany Clayball? She's got 2 goals tonight, was digging for a third, and in the end gives Lynchburg their 8th corner of the evening.
Beautiful read on the big ball there, and another beautiful foul there going in between the Shenandoah girls' legs.
Check it out one more time. That one went off the foot of Hannah Mink. Lynchburg has struggled on corners this evening. Be a great time to convert on one. Strauss short to Dudley. Hard shot that deflects inside and scores. Emily Dudley, goal number 7 on the season, a big one for the home team. They trail by 1.
What a great move by that senior leader there, Joe. I feel like she really needed that to show her team we are still in this and we've got this.
Look at it again from the field level. Nice accurate shot and an appropriate celebration of, hey, it ain't over yet. It's Clayball. Dribbles near side, cuts back to the middle, pushing a pass intended for Dudley, finds her, and she misses wide right.
Even though, Joe, that ball went just outside the post, it's the pressure of constantly, getting this ball in the circle and getting those shots off to make the defense slip up a little bit. Even though it's not going in, those shots are better than nothing.
Here's where the grassy turf plays in favor of those long balls. Green will chase it down and play it because it did not go across the end line, but it's stolen by Tyre. Has help center side up top. Push through. Tyre's there. Kicked out karate style by Nix. Still not out of pressure's way, though. And Lynchburg will take it on defensive hit.
Great clear by Nix, and her ability to get back into the cage was just so athletic. She's incredible.
She will not be happy with the 2 goals that got past her to finish the third, but she still has more than 10 minutes to make her mark more and do what she can to help this offense out by keeping Shenandoah from scoring any more than they have. Long ball well outside the scoring area, so across the end line.
Dudley's just trying to get it up over the 50 to her teammates.
Looking at that last save by Laurel Nix. Pew. Get out of here.
Checking in the 4th quarter in Lexington, Joe, we do have a tie game now. It is 1-1, about 10 minutes to go.
So 2 tight games in the semifinals. It is. 10 minutes remaining here in the 4th. Romero cutting inside. Student section up as Laro rips one. And they'll calmly sit back down, ready to erupt when the time is appropriate.
I love the energy that Emily Dudley is bringing to this game, trying to rally her teammates, just trying to get them excited and stay in this game.
Good through ball by Jones. Green, though, calmly under pressure. Brings that ball to her stick, sends it deep, and it will be ushered across the end line by Morandi. Folks at home, you can't see what I can see, but Alyssa Rowe is a bundle of nerves at the moment. She rocking back and forth, arms crossed like, oh my goodness. Time is of the essence. 9 minutes to go. Lynchburg trailing by 1, trying to continue their undefeated season and host the ODAC Championship on Sunday. They have hosted the last 2. They have won the last 2. Clay ball once again making some big plays in the midfield. Leads to Laro, working away from that jab by Jones. Dudley makes contact, but nothing clean. And a corner for the Hornets.
Great call.
And they're going to stop the clock, too. I didn't even see where it took place, but the two officials want to chat about it near midfield. And they confirmed that it is a corner off the right foot of a Shenandoah player. We'll look again. Right there. Oh, maybe it was right there, perhaps. Hard to see on the camera.
I think
but
it went a little bit up into her.
Yeah, up into Hannah Mink's right leg. So Lynchburg again on the corner, their 9th of the night. It's Dudley again going up tall, and it was deflected quickly back where it came from. I don't think it ever made it to Mirandi. She was in a good position, but they blew the whistle.
Yeah, Joe, I couldn't quite tell if she got a hold of it or not, but she was ready. Whether she actually touched or not, she was definitely ready.
Well, based on the whistle, the timing of the whistle, does it feel like maybe there was someone else's stick that was up and it was played up high, perhaps?
Yeah, I couldn't quite tell. Either someone kind of batted it down with their stick or she was about to, like, punch it down. I couldn't quite tell either. But either way, Shenandoah did a great job of trying to reset there.
They have been tested a lot on their set-piece defense. No question about it. And most of the time they have come up the victors of those battles as they try to win the war here in the second meeting of these two teams this season. Here is a shot through the middle, deflected by Nix. Long one-timer attempted, now one short, and it's wide. Great pressure again from Shenandoah. Nix did her part, and a little bit of luck went towards Lynchburg as well. .7:05 to go in the fourth quarter. ODAC field hockey semifinal. Long hit from Green, connects with Dudley. Sweeps it near side for Strauss. Jones regathers for Shenandoah. This is Redmond. Good dribble through the legs of the defense. Now coming back to play it is Winter, but does so illegally.
She's looking for that call just a little bit sooner. Alex was trying to buy her some time and space for that free hit.
Here's time and space for Lauren Tyre. Takes it herself and misses wide. Those are tough shots to keep accurate when you're on the run. The ball's rolling in front of you. Off the foot of Dudley, so delayed whistle. Once Jones took possession, dribbles around Dudley. Brown, pass deflected. Laro picks it up across midfield. And a card is given to Elise Velasquez. Second card given tonight to Shenandoah. And they will have one less player on the pitch for 2 minutes.
With another card out there for Shenandoah, Joe, Lynchburg really is going to have to focus on fast and accurate free hits in order to execute and take true advantage of Shenandoah being down a player again.
Defender goes down. She got caught up in Romero's stick. Meanwhile, Emma Strauss on the near side in serious pain. She went down previously. And another card is given to Shenandoah. During all of this, you've got to get a trainer out to see Emma Strauss, who is not doing well. They need to stop the game. She's doing what she can to come off the field under her own power. Well, they're still going to keep going. Strauss isn't even off the field yet. What is happening? We know that 2 Shenandoah players are in the penalty area. Kylie Tubner for the second time, Elise Velasquez for the first time. So 2 less Shenandoah Hornets on the field as Lynchburg tries to tie it up with 5 minutes to go. Romero sends it inside, and it's poked away by Morandi. Whistle gives it to Shenandoah anyway. And looking around, and Emma Strauss being tended to by Randy Rimby and his staff, the athletic trainers for Lynchburg. Aaron Boatwright checking in. Maggie Chapazi's in as well to help out offensively. 2-man advantage for Lynchburg. That one bounces through off the stick of Dudley, I believe. The Hornets of Lynchburg have tied it with 4.5 to go. What a shot from Romero, and that deflection on the absolute money.
Beautiful feed out wide and then back into the circle for her to get that big ball off there with a little touch from Dudley in the circle, Joe. That's what they've been trying to execute this whole game, so I'm glad that they could finally get that to go.
Yeah, you couldn't see the actual touch, but it was low on the ground. Then once it got to Dudley, it took a deflection upward. So the assumption is there that she was the Hornet of Lynchburg that touched it and sent it up high, and therefore collecting her second goal of the game, both coming here in the fourth quarter, and this one tying it up at 4 apiece. Oh, I think I heard we have a better angle. So we will show that as soon as that moment arises. We will get confirmation perhaps on what we assume is the second goal of the night for Emily Dudley. Most importantly for Lynchburg, they still have that 2-man advantage if they can get it back on their offensive side and take this moment to capitalize on the opportunity. Well, it didn't last long. Now coming back in is Randberger. Velasquez still sitting. Maggie Chapazi.
Beautiful give and go.
Yes, indeed. Still actually should be a 2-man advantage. The third official saying that Randberger ran back in too early. She actually shouldn't be out there, which makes sense because Velasquez took her penalty first and she's still sitting, and now she comes in. But Randberger should be coming back off the field. She ran on at least 30 seconds ago. And now the field official is talking to the third official. You can see there talking about the fact that Randberger jumped in early. Let's go back to that goal from Emily Dudley. Well, we think it's Emily Dudley. Let's try it again. Romero with the bounce, and yes, indeed, that goes off the stick of Dudley. You can see the deflection there.
Beautiful deflection. Great positioning.
And great work by the camera crew as well. So Randberger comes back. Velasquez is on, so it is a, you could hear it there, the third official saying there's 12 seconds left on the penalty to Randberger. So that's how long Lynchburg will be up by one woman. 3:32 to go.
What's so tough in that situation, Joe, is seconds matter so much in games like this, especially when it's tied up in the fourth quarter. Every second counts, especially when you're a man up. So I'm sure Coach Steele wasn't super thrilled about that call.
Yeah, she even said, we could kind of hear her, I don't care who sent her in, she shouldn't have gone in. Like that's there's some major miscommunication going on, both on the field and off at this point. And the officials on the field doing their best to make sure that every single portion of what's happening right now is taken care of before they can move on, because we got to make sure that with 3:32 to go, something like that does not cost one of these teams. And after
Joe, I will say,
go ahead.
Sorry. I never do envy refs. They have such a tough job, and everybody is scrutinizing them. But, man, it's tough out there. I'm glad that they're able to get a third referee out there, though, to kind of help negotiate things.
Yeah, that is a part of the tournament scenario. You do have a third official. Meanwhile, one of the on-field officials talking to Kelsey Jones, because after he chatted with our female official, they pointed to a corner for Lynchburg. But so much stuff has happened in the last few minutes. I'm not sure what he's referring to. So he's now talking it over with Kelsey Jones. She's going to reluctantly go back and play defense on the 10th penalty corner of the night for Lynchburg. They've been much better on these here in the fourth quarter. This may lead to a game-leading goal.
I think right before the Shenandoah player had left a little bit early, Lynchburg was awarded a corner.
And he almost pays off with the 5th goal of the night. The third it would have been for Clayball, but her shot came off the post, and Shenandoah breathes a sigh of relief.
Let's go, SU! Play with your heart! Your heart right now! Yes! Yes! Let's go, Farron! Let's go, Farron! Your heart! Put it on the line. Put it on the line.
Letting Elizabeth Ramberger take over the mic for a little bit. She's sitting right in front of the crowd mic in the penalty area, telling her teammates to play with their heart. Keep playing hard here. It's tied up at 4, under 3 minutes to go. Lynchburg still has the man advantage. Kessa Romero dribbling along the right side. Cuts back to the middle. Pass to Brown, deflection wide. And once again, Lynchburg mounting the pressure, trying to end this in regulation if they can.
Lynchburg's really trying to work their way in and out and back into the circle there, Joe, to just get anything off they can. Anything is better than nothing.
I know.
Ramberger still sitting, so Lynchburg still pushes. Chapese, Dudley tried for the one-timer, got over her stick. Laro had it taken away by Velasquez. Picked up by
Jackie
Florio.
was looking for the corner.
Laro stole it for a moment. Then the whistle keeps it with Shenandoah on a free hit. Under 2 minutes to play. Shenandoah has not had offensive possession for a while due to their penalties. Now the student section doing their part to provide energy on the far side of the field. Many student athletes that know this field hockey team supports them when they're playing out here tonight to support Lynchburg field hockey as they try to advance to their 3rd straight ODAC final. Shenandoah wanting to provide the upset at Schellenberger Field once again in the semifinals, just as they did in 2016.
I might be a little biased, Joe, but that Lynchburg student section is pretty phenomenal. The Lynchburg community in general, man, they love to support one another.
Absolutely, they do, and they are doing a good job tonight as now they see the opponents driving with less than a minute to go off the stick of Strauss and then cleared away cleanly. Velasquez will pick it up here. Dribbling around Dudley. Pushes one inside the scoring area. And a penalty corner for Shenandoah. Huge moment for Shenandoah. 6th corner of the evening. They scored twice in the last 2 minutes of the 3rd quarter from penalty corner setups.
Shenandoah's definitely playing the clock to their advantage right now. You know, they can let it run out and continue to play, and it just has to stay inside that circle, Joe. As long as it's in the circle, no matter if the time runs out, they are still able to play.
Laurel Nix and company ready to do it one more time. Clock starts. Insert is made. Jones, small pass, and taken away by Alexis Brown on an excellent telegraph moment. She steps in front for the steal and now takes it herself from one side to the other, pushing it forward and connecting it to Chapese. Chapese in the middle for Laro, and the shot is deflected off a Shenandoah player. 18 seconds to go. Clock continues to roll here.
Got the Lynchburg coaching staff all on their feet there. Got some height there for all 3 of them.
And Shenandoah will have possession. They will gladly let the clock run out because Lynchburg owned the 4th quarter, but no one victorious after regulation. Just as we started, we are still waiting to find out who's moving on to the finals. Stick with us. We're back in a moment on LHSN.
Celebrate the soggy shoes. and the slow starts. Celebrate the lessons learned along the way. These are the wins. Not the shiny, nail-biting kind. These are the last a lifetime kind.
If you want to know your customers, shop where they shop. Live where they live. And spend time with them as neighbors. With over 100 local offices, Virginia Farm Bureau agents are part of your community. If you want insurance from a company that knows you, get to know us.
Cheer for the stumbles, the he shoulda had that's, and the tears that linger. For in those moments, greatness lies. There, you will find the provoked, the determined, the unified. It's in those moments that champions are born.
I was looking for a school that could provide me with the athletics, academics to pursue my career, a wind symphony to pursue my passion for music, and really have a nice general atmosphere. The professors here are really unique, their background and their passion for teaching. It's really a place where you can explore. Lynchburg gives you the opportunity to fail, but also get back up in that period of time and learn from your mistakes. I can make these mistakes within the school environment, but also with the support of other friends, and be ready for the real world when you graduate.
Celebrate the soggy shoes and the slow starts. Celebrate the lessons learned along the way. These are the wins. Not the shiny, nail-biting kind. These are the last a lifetime kind.
Shenandoah Hornets took a 2-goal lead at one point, and then Lynchburg battled back to make it 4-4. Joe Hutzler and Alyssa Rowe with you on the call tonight. It has been a fun one to be a part of. Alyssa, now's when the nerves really kick in as we roll into overtime here, Alyssa. Gosh, I mean, what is there advice here? Is there just, do you keep doing what you've been doing? I mean, the field's going to open up now 7v7.
Correct, Joe. There's going to be a lot of fitness and endurance here in this 7v7. That's really all it is, using the field to their advantage and making sure that those passes are accurate, leading passes either into space or to their teammates on both sides of this game is going to be super crucial.
Well, you saw all the goals in the second half as Laurel Nix looks on, trying to make 77 a winning number, as 42 has been all year long. By the way, I was told that somehow they lost her 42 jersey, so
oh no,
sad. But we digress because we move on to the first overtime period. 2 overtime periods of 10 minutes, golden goal. And if they are still scoreless after those 2 overtimes, we go to a shootout. Lynchburg has been in an overtime game this season on this field. They were victorious in the first overtime. It was Aaron Boatwright that night becoming the hero. as Romero continues to impress with the stick work, working around Kelsey Jones, not able to get past Farron Winter, but the Hornets of Lynchburg earn another penalty corner. This will be number 11 tonight.
Being able to get those first few connecting passes right at the beginning of this overtime, Joe, is what's really allowed them to get to this corner opportunity, and the stick work by Kessa is just remarkable.
Check it out one more time. Oop, right there off the toe.
It almost looked like there's a little bit of interference there with the two Shenandoah players also.
Lynchburg corner being taken by number 7, Emma.
Definitely a corner. Great call.
Emma Strauss will take it. So it's a 4-on-4 situation with there being 7 on the field for each team. Laro to the middle. Green. One more pass. Connects with Brown. Not a clean receiving, though. And it's poked around a little bit. Got to be careful here. No one playing back for Lynchburg. Whistle keeps it with Lynchburg. Romero missed on the chance. Got it right back. Backhands one high over top the crossbar.
So hard under that immense pressure, Joe, and feeling the pressure of overtime to really keep your balls grounded and flat, especially for your teammates to be able to receive them. So I feel the pressure, but they just got to stay calm and do what they know how to do best.
A minute and a half going by here in the first overtime period. Opportunity here for Shenandoah. Dribbling through the middle of the field is Hannah Mink. She's got a goal tonight. Shenandoah only sending 3 forward, 3 back. 4th if you count Morandi, who's had a stellar evening between the pipes, 10 saves for the senior. Possession stays with Shenandoah. They want her to come back, though. Kelsey Jones.
Got to make sure you take the ball exactly where the foul happened. I'm sure they're going to be super strict on that in this 7v7.
Free hit finds Winter. Laro picks it up. She'll come near side. Clayball will sprint to the far side. Meanwhile, Velasquez playing tight on Laro. Laro retains possession, has Clayball sprinting through the middle, and then Laro throws it off the foot of Tubner to keep it here with Lynchburg. 7.5 to go in overtime number 1.
Jackie felt that pressure from Tubner staying on her. She wasn't quite fast enough to cut in front of her like she wanted to, so getting that foot foul was a gorgeous and smart move.
Romero off the foot of the defender, but outside of that shooting circle. Romero across the formation and out of play. We do have a final in Lexington. Washington and Lee advancing to the ODAC championship on Sunday with a 2-1 defeat of Roanoke, who led 1-0 most of the way into the 4th quarter before the Generals flexed their muscles a little bit more and now advance to the championship Sunday. It might be here, it may be there. Depends on what happens perhaps on this play. Clayball through, and it's wide. Looking for Laro, possible deflection, but it's sent through with no one touching it.
That defensive stop was crucial, Joe, in allowing Lynchburg to get that momentum to try to get that deflection there. Can't remember quite who that stop was from.
Check it out again. Laro can't get to the ball. Morandi in the way. She gets up okay. Had her mask knocked off, but she's all right. And we continue on. Played up high off the stick of Morrison. Cassidy Morrison looking to play it back center, hoping for some help. Instead, Taylor Green there for a nice block. And then Brown pokes it around the incoming defender. Alexis Brown, 3rd-team All-ODAC a year ago. Excellent midfield player. Perfect dribble. Pass ahead for Aaron Boatwright. Came hard off the stick, though. And the whistle will give it to Shenandoah. Nowhere to go for Cassidy Morrison. Shenandoah playing extremely on their back feet here in this overtime period. Tubner with a long hit for Tyre, who has fresh legs. She just substituted in. It's Tyre, it's Green, it's possession Shenandoah. And once again, Kelsey Jones doing what she can for that quick start. And the official tells her to go back. Under 5 minutes to go in overtime. 1 goal is all that it takes. And you and your team are headed to the ODAC Championship on Sunday. Jones trying to just play it in. It goes hard off of Green. She gets up okay. Laro with the nice steal. She needs some help, though. Right now it's just Jackie Laro. Using that speed, sprinting with Velasquez. 15 with the jab. Laro, and earning a corner is Jackie Laro all by herself. How about the effort from the senior?
Joe, it is hard to catch that speed, I tell you. And she did a great job of being able to determine when she just couldn't quite get past enough to force that corner.
Simply incredible. The run we just saw from Jackie Laro, who normally moonlights as a track star as well. Of course, fall and spring overlapping here in 2021. And it will be Laro inserting the ball. Emma Strauss usually does this for Lynchburg. She is still out there, but she's playing defense. Way back at midfield as this one comes to Taylor Green. Fires one hard, looking for a deflection, and right there was Romero, but just could not make enough contact.
Looked like the timing of that might have been just a little off.
If you are Lynchburg, you are not going to complain about lack of opportunities. 24 shots, 15 of them on target, compared to Shenandoah's 11 and 8 tonight. Here they go again. Alexis Brown inside, shoots low. Morandi with the stop, lays on it, backhander that's wide left from Laro.
Beautiful flat ball over to Brown from Kessa Romero there, who just had ample time to get her shot off. Just couldn't quite get it past Morandi.
Romero comes off. Alex Redmond substitutes in. Coach Steele says, grab water, 2 minutes. I want you back in there, Romero. Three and a half to go. Lynchburg has dominated possession really ever since they scored that third goal. Largely in part because Shenandoah had 2 coinciding penalties as Strauss takes it upon herself to create some space, connecting with Redmond, senior to senior. Alex Redmond along the end line. Now rolls back, tripped up, and it'll come back to the 16. Oh, well, it's a corner, actually. I didn't see the official pointed back towards midfield instead of to a corner spot. Laro, well, she was going to go on that side, and the bench saying, come on, get over the other side. So they're going to try it from the far side now. Brown, Green, Boatwright, and Redmond along the perimeter for Lynchburg. 3 minutes to go. A chance for the ODAC championship appearance. Not going to happen there. Morandi with save number 12.
Great hard shot, though, Joe. Usually when they're changing up sides, there's a whole different play going on there. So that quick adjustment there, but still being able to get that shot off was really important.
All knotted up at 4 apiece. The winner will play Washington and Lee on Sunday. Time and location to be determined. Perhaps in the next 2:26. Getting it back. Shenandoah looking for a corner, and they've got it. Farron Winter, again, making some big, crucial plays for Shenandoah late in the second half, or excuse me, in the fourth quarter and also here in overtime. She forces the penalty corner to be called in favor of Shenandoah. This is the 7th time that they will have this opportunity. They scored twice on corners tonight. A score here would send them to Lexington on Sunday.
Shenandoah corner being taken by number 19, Hannah Mink.
Hannah Mink will insert it for Shenandoah. Tense moments at Schellenberger Field as the insert comes to Jones, the best shooter, the best scorer for Shenandoah. Goes low, kicked away by Nix outside the shooting area. And now it's Lynchburg with a chance as Green runs through the LYN at Lynchburg. Laro sprinting through the middle. It's Green ahead. Laro is there. She pokes it away from Morandi. Open net. Morandi there for the stop. A whistle, and it will be Jackie Laro shooting with a chance to end it from the penalty spot.
Beautiful run by Lynchburg. What a team effort they had there in trying to get this stroke. You know, Joe, I'm not sure if they were trying to force a stroke or not.
Two for two this season is Jackie Laro from penalty stroke distance. This one would be the biggest of her senior season. A chance to play for the ODAC championship. It's Lynchburg's!
What a finish.
What a game we've had here tonight. Both teams leaving it all on the field. But in the end, the Hive has spoken, and Lynchburg defeats Shenandoah for the second time this season. This time, moving on to the ODAC championship on Sunday. They will host the Generals of Washington and Lee. The last time they were here, it was an overtime victory for Lynchburg. Tonight, it's an OT winner against Shenandoah. Wow. Whew, you can breathe now, Alyssa. It's over.
Phew, I was holding my breath.
And for good reason. And we look forward to more of this coming up this weekend. Alyssa, thank you so much for tuning in, being a part of this broadcast. I'm so glad it went the way that your heart wanted it to go, and we're so glad you could bring your knowledge to the broadcast this evening.
Thank you, Joe, for having me. Go Hornets.
We are ready for more action this weekend. We will have the time of this ODAC championship on our website, lynchburgsports.com. Between now and then, track and field, baseball, softball, all happening on LHSN. The Hornets of Lynchburg are victorious 5-4 in the ODAC semifinals. My goodness, Alyssa.